think that growth is a beautiful word, isn't it? I mean, kids grow, plants grow, so I think you shouldn't be against growth. We just gotta redefine what it is. We just gotta take this language of progress and of efficiency and of innovation and to give different definitions to it. What if we consume more of our wealth in a completely different way? And for example, move towards a much shorter working week. There are brilliant scientists coming up with new ideas, about solar energy or whatever. Then there are smart economists who say, oh, we could implement a carbon tax or whatever. But there's another part that we need as well, which is some kind of vision of a society that's actually just a better place to live. Well, what if we would just say, the air is everyone's property, right? And if you put carbon in the air, then you should pay a price for that. Sounds very reasonable, right? And then if you would have that tax, you would get in a lot of money and you could actually fund a basic income with that. Change doesn't come from the people who always stay reasonable and are looking for the politically sensible solutions. Sometimes what we need to do first is to be a bit unreasonable and to try and expand the definition of what is actually possible.
When in 100 years' time, histories are written about today, this is the time when the single biggest impact on humanity will come to have a force. This is what we're talking about. Look forward 10 years or 20 years. We will have the ability, humankind will have the ability to convert the air that is around us into energy. For the first time in human history, we not only can map the genome, we can manipulate it. Artificial intelligence. What we have until now is not even worth the name artificial intelligence. It's not even a vague approximation. The cortex there at the back of our brains is a quantum mechanical process. Some people, like Stephen Hawking, used to think that actually nature is one large quantum computer. My children, your children, are inheriting a world where this industrial revolution, and I think we probably shouldn't call it an industrial revolution, is like nothing that has ever happened before.
I do believe this will be the critical decade when it comes to an energy transition and decarbonizing the world's energy mix. By mid-century, the hope is that the world, in order to meet its Paris climate targets and limit warming to roughly 2 degrees Celsius or thereabouts, the hope is that the world will achieve, in the developed parts of the world, an 80% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, with the developing world following shortly thereafter. That's all got to happen by mid-century or shortly thereafter. And so this critical decade is when we lay that groundwork. I believe that a balanced, moderate approach that harnesses market forces, but also is bold in its vision and architecture, that's not only the best way to move forward, it's the only way to move forward.
In the US, we've always pursued energy regulation and energy policy on one track and environmental policy on the other track. We do energy first, then we clean it up later with environmental policy. Can't do that in the 21st century. You have to figure out how to produce the affordable, reliable, secure, abundant energy through a diversity of sources in a way that is sustainable right from the get-go. I think the technology solutions are there. I think the policy solutions are there. So none of that is a mystery. And that gives me hope, because that means it's just a political problem. And that just means you have to have the right coalition.